Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dorktown. I'm your mayor, Carla, coming to you live from, well, not live. Okay. Well, I'm not dead either. Pre-recorded from Eaton, Colorado. All right. So, I'm a little late today. I don't even know what time it is. I know it's probably about 4 o'clock, gauging by the sunshine, which I can do here in Colorado. Anyway, so I have things today, and I think that quite a few of you are going to be so relieved, and excited and relieved, and maybe, I don't know, disgusted. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know how you're feeling today. I hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good. So first off, since last I saw you, I was on DeviantArt because that's where I spend a lot of time sometimes when I'm on the internet. And I've been with them for 11 or 12 years. I don't know. I don't keep up with that stuff. My oldest son got me an account on there way back, like a year after DeviantArt went live, and I've been with them ever since. And that community really started the wonderful expansion of meeting people on the internet through cross stitch, and I will never leave them unless they go away. Please don't ever go away. It'll make me very sad. So, meanwhile, and I apologize, my hair, it's like crazy vine hair. I don't know what is this? Remember I got my hair cut probably about this short one time, years ago. I was working at a TV station, and this would curl. It curls naturally like that. It's so dumb. And I could go, and it would be in my eye, and it would, anyway. So I'm on DeviantArt, just to go back to the story, right? Instead of talking about this annoying curl. So I'm reading a post because on DeviantArt, if somebody mentions you, you get a little notification saying, hey, look at this. And strangely enough, I get quite a few mentions on there. You know, I don't want to say I'm popular or anything, but people seem to like my stuff. So, you know, I'm on there, and I've talked about Magical before. She's on there. That's where I met her. That's where I met Ashley, Lenore, Stephanie McNutt, in case you're wondering, and Crystal Gale, Crystal and Gail. And oh my God, I can't even tell you how many people I've met. People in Italy, people in Brazil. I've met people in Brazil. And of course, Australia. That's where I met Jody, as a matter of fact, from Unconventional Cross Stitch when she first started her foray into the world of designing patterns. Like Ashley, that was kind of like an accident, really. You'll have to go back to the video where I actually interview Ashley, because I have to meet my girls in person. Because it's one thing to be really good friends on the internet, but it's another thing entirely to meet in person. And I always promise, and I keep my promises, most of the time that you won't regret me visiting. You know, I'm not one of those visitors that go there and, you know, I think I'm going to stay here for 3 months. Although it would have been lovely. Maybe I would have become a better gamer. I am a terrible gamer. And it made me laugh. I think it frustrated Ashley and her brother because I'm so terrible. This is why I only play Animal Crossing and maybe Mario Kart sometimes, but other than that. Anyway, segue. So I'm on DeviantArt and I'm reading a post by Magical, and prior to her doing her Friday freebies and her Weavers group on Facebook and her monthly ornaments, she was doing her monthly ornaments prior to all the stuff that she's doing now. And I'm reading the one for May, and I believe it's the May 2017. Yes, it is. And it said at the very bottom of her little description was, and you can see Mattsma's as soon as she gets it done right here. And it's blank because I was busy. And when I read that, I was like, oh, I'd better get that done pretty darn quick, you know? Little PDQ. So I took her May pattern and I made this beautiful. Oh my goodness, you can actually see the color of the fabric today. The fabric, I can't tell you where it's from. Here's the back side. Here's the front side. It's like this random Lugana that's kind of a green and blue. So I named it Ocean Wave. And the flosses that I used on it, there's two different flosses, Weeks Dye Works, and let's see if I can get it in there to where you can see. Ooh. And that's the floss that Christine Derone had given me. She is on Floss Tube as Every Stitch is a Pleasure. Because it is. If it wasn't a pleasure, then why do it? We're here to have fun. It's fun. Anyway, I took once I finished the Halloween cat, I took a minute to stop and make the biscornu. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. And then I had the girls help me pick the crystal that goes in here. I have a ton of little crystals in kind of different shapes and stuff. I have big crystals, small crystals, medium crystals, Swarovski crystals. I have crystals in my bee box. I should show them to you next time. I'll show you my treasure. So anyway, I made the biscornu. So that was a finish. I was so excited about this. You may have seen it on Instagram if you follow me there. I have a ton of followers there. But I have to say this now before I forget. My 323 or 28, 323 followers here on YouTube. I appreciate every single one of you. And for those of you who do take the time to watch my videos, thank you. It means a lot to me. And I don't have thousands like some of the other channels that I watch. I don't. And that doesn't bother me because my tiny little following, it just kind of pleases me to no end, you know. In the words of Taliesin Jaffe, this pleases me. So I'm probably not everybody's cup of tea, and being such a big dork, I am the mayor of Dorktown after all. you know, it's yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. And so there's that. That's my first finish since the last time we met. And my second finish, dun dun dun. If you're ready, here it comes. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to stand up for this. Oh, look at that. It's finished. Wait, let me scooch back a little bit. Sucking in the gut. Isn't it lovely? And there seems to be some sunshine on it. Look. Now I did do some changes to it. The first changes I did was I changed as many of the DMC, called for DMC, with Weeks dye works. So instead of the lacy border being in 310, I changed it to coal. And there was a, the mine wouldn't produce any more coal. I had to order that, so everything stopped when that happened. Then, because I gotta scoot this chair back or I'm gonna fall down. Okay. Because I don't appreciate owls like a lot of people do, you'll see here, hold this up here, right here, I put a raven right here because ravens are awesome and I miss ravens. There are no ravens here. There are noisy ass crows. And so I put the raven here, and there was an owl here, but I put a cute little black cat with orange eyes there. I think that looks much better. And then right here, I'll get in close. Right here where the flags are, there's supposed to be a bat right here, and I thought that bat looked funky. It's not fun like this one up here. It was just kind of janky. I didn't like him, so I took him out and put a different color as, you know, one of the disco lights there. And then I had like a little teeny bit of Weeks Dye Works raspberry left, so I used it in the witch's hair here, and the witch's hair here, and the mouse. Okay, who has a tall skinny mouse in a bakery? So I made him short and fat. You know, I did some things. But overall, the pattern's pretty true, and I really like it. I'm blown away by it, and I think it's really going to grow on me, especially after, I mean, I seriously berserker stitched this thing. This was my main focus, and if I didn't make the goal to get it done by yesterday, I think I probably would have just put it away until next year, but it had to be done. I mean, I had to finish. So I got to post this on DeviantArt later today and all over the interwebs. So there's that beautiful finish. I'm very pleased with it. So this officially makes 5 Halloween pieces that I've finished this year. And I have never done 5 before Halloween. Never. I mean, I love Halloween patterns. I think they're colorful and they're fun. And just, I mean, it was prior to this year, I would only do the one pattern. Sorry, there's clouds going in front. Yeah, clouds. They're thinking about doing something called snow. Maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I think right now they're just kind of being dumb. But stay out of my sunshine. I came here for my 220 days of sunshine. So anyway, I don't think that I'm ever going to do, no, I can't say that, because next year, about August, because of the Halloween sale, I'm going to be doing another Halloween pattern in August of next year, because that's annual. We'll see what Lenore picks for us next year, you know. And that's always, for me, that's the best part, is to find out, you know, what has Lenore been digging around in this year? I was really surprised when she came up with Satsuma Street. And because I was kind of trying to convince her to do some other ones, and she's like, well, it's so big. And she was right. And that's okay. So 5 in a row is too many for me. My brain, I'm wiped out. Totally wiped out on Halloween. And that's weird for me. I love Halloween. I love all the garish, the loud, the orange, and purple and green, and oh my. So that's that. We're done with that. So what's next, you ask? Well, Stitching Pirates on DeviantArt has a contest going right now called Words of Wisdom, and it will be finished on the 31st, and I have to make the prizes. I'm one of the people who makes prizes. Magical does some, Ashley does some, Ori does some. You know, it just depends, you know, whoever wants to donate prizes for the contest. But I've gotten into making a prize, and so I had a friend of mine make these little, it's too bright in here. Oh, and you're far away. Oh wait, I gotta scoot my chair up, that's why. Okay, here we go. I had her make me a bunch of the, where is that light coming from? Hang on. Hold the phone. I had to close a blind. Darn sun. Darn clouds. Darn sun. I'm trying to film it. Normally, when I film in the morning, the sunshine isn't a problem. It's behind me. But now it's over there, shining directly through that window. Annoying. So, I nixed that. Oh, now the clouds cover the sun. That's nice. Good thing I have a lamp on me, which I am having technical difficulties. Okay, so I'm sorry if this video is going to be a little grainy and bleached out. That I can't get my lighting right, which is why I like to video on Sunday mornings, but I was busy today, so this is when I get to do it. Okay, so a friend of mine, she showed me she made what she calls little jewelry bags, and in my mind I thought, oh my gosh, wouldn't those be the cutest little travel bags for your stitchy stuff? So you have your little travel bag, so it's always with you, and inside it has little pockets for things, or orts, you know, if you want to fill up the pockets with orts. Plenty of room for scissors, biscornu, whatever pincushion you use, a little needle book, you know, stuff like that. So for a prize, whoops, there's paper on there. So for a prize, for the contest, at least this time it's 3 prizes, I am putting together 3 little bags. So here's one, and Here's another one. Because see, part of the thing was I was downsizing, and part of the downsizing was handing all my fabric over to my friend who made these and said, okay, I kind of put them together how they should go. So here's the outside. Looks like a bonnet, doesn't it? Anyway, so here's the outside. Here's the inside. So you can see, and then they kind of close up like a little flower. So you have a little flower that's ready to bloom with good stitchy things. And that way, you know, when you are traveling or what have you, you've got it in your car. You can hang it from something. If you're on a plane, it's not going anywhere. It's all in here. And it just, you toss it in your bag and you're good to go. That's just my opinion. So for these three guys, showed you that one. And this one, I really like this one because it's old-timey. I think the fabric is just so cool. And I never made anything with it. That's makes me mad. But my girlfriend did, so it's all good. Another big bonnet. And inside has like the vintage, like 1920s fabric, which is really cute. Little polka dots, flowers. They're kind of color coordinated. So what I have to do this week is to make 3 biscornu, 3 little needle books, and 3 scissor covers. I've never made scissor covers before, but you know, I'm going to do that. And Ingeborg from A Stitch Too Far had showed us all this book, and for the scissor covers I am going to stitch some of the little tiny flowers on here, and I haven't decided which, and she had done a flip through, but let me find a good one. Okay, so I could get some sprigs off there, right? Little flower sprigs, or a bee, a butterfly. I don't think a butterfly will fit on there, it'll be too slender. I'm not providing the scissors. Oh wait, yes I am. I have tons of scissors because I love scissors. But I'm finding that there's 4 pair that I defer to more than any of the others that have not been used yet, so maybe I should downsize on that because I only like this 4 pair of scissors. I don't know. So those are going to be what I'm doing this week, and that shouldn't take any time at all because the biscornu they're going to be tiny. I'm making them with patterns from the Floss box. I got this mini pack, and I do front and back stitching because there's always an opposite, not always, I would say most of the time there's an opposite pattern. If you look, you could probably see it yourself. But these guys are on Etsy. It's the Floss box, of course. And this is pack 1. There's a secondary pack that they have on there, and I don't remember if I got that one or not. I want to say I did, but if I did, I would have printed it out and put it with this one. Anyway, biscornu and needle books will have this, or the biscornu will have this, and the needle book and the scissor cover will have the little flowers. So I haven't decided yet. It's all good. Oh, here's another one I can show you. Yes, I can show you. get it open. So here's the outside fabric. Isn't that pretty? I love this fabric. And then you open it up and it's like, bam, it's fall. So really pretty. When I get out my possessed sewing machine and start making these myself, which they're really easy to make, I will be getting, because I'm going to make these for Stitching George Washington, everybody who is stitching a panel and all the backup stitchers, and they'll all have, you know, everything in here that they need in case they need to travel with their projects, because that's a 5-year project to stitch, just to stitch, and they haven't started yet because all the panels aren't out yet, because, you know, life. And so that's that. Get those out of the way because I have things. So since I started stitching here in Colorado, look at my Ort jar without the glare. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Broop. That is some mad stitching right there. It's time to empty the Ort jar, and let me show you what I put it in. You guys are gonna like this. So, I'm being attacked by puppies. No. Okay. I suppose that's fine, really. Okay. So, this jar here is very shiny, apparently. This is a sapphire gin, and I cut off the top and it broke crookedly, and I like it. It's wonky. It makes me happy. And it's blue. I think blue glass is really pretty. Anywho. Then, for Christmas one year, I had given a friend of mine a giant bottle of Belvedere. It took him a while to drink it, but he did, and once he got done with it, I asked him what he wanted to do with the bottle, and he says, I don't know, I was going to recycle it. And so I said, well, I'll make this into a giant Ort jar. Ooh, really dark now. So now I got to cram it down, because there's yarn in here and stuff from the last 2 chickie bags I made. So you get to watch as I dump Halloween and a biscornu in the jar. And now, ta-da! It's empty. All right. I'm kind of excited about that. That's kind of like a huge feat. But I think right here, everything in here right now is everything I've stitched since January 1st of this year. So, stitched, crocheted, or knit since the beginning of this year. So, that's a lot of orts. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah. Heck yeah. All right. So, and it won't take me long to do the little needle books and stuff. And once I get the prizes made and everything, so exciting, then I get to do an entire year of catch-up on this beautiful thing right here, turning it the right way. And I am on November 2016 page right here, and I get to go all the way to November of 2017, and depending on if I get this done, 12 pages done before December, I'll be able to do the December page as well. There has been some talk amongst the people who are doing this sale on, you know, why can't we do more than one page? And now the rules have changed and you could do more than one page if you want to. I'm not. I'm going to continue on. Maybe later on I might want to do like 2 pages. I don't know, it depends. But here it is, Fire and Ember. I refer to this as Thordak, the Cinder King, because right around the time I started stitching this, Critical Role was going through a period of meeting dragons, and Thordak was the biggest and baddest of them all. And this one isn't going to be very big. I mean, for a full coverage piece, this is pretty small. Because seriously, it's going to go from here to here, and from here to, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So to about right, I can't see that. How can you see that? To about right here. So there's going to be a ton of fabric left over. And it's so funny, when I got this piece of fabric, it was so huge that when I cut some off, I was able to send that huge chunk to Jody so she could stitch on it too. And the only reason that we're using Ruby 18 count Ada is because Lenore found it. I liked it, so I bought some, and Jody liked it, so I sent it to her. So the 3 of us are doing it on red, and that's probably why in my mind I think it's just the 3 of us doing the stitch along. But I think Jody said there were a bunch of other people doing it too, but I haven't seen them. And so let me show you again. So it'll be, you know, a little bit of stitching to finish the November 2016 page. And then I can go down here. Okay, I'm stitching this funny. And you're going to laugh, but you see it on the Heaven and Earth group page all the time. You know, let's do something fun. Let's stitch checkerboards, you know, and or let's stitch this way, or let's go diagonally, you know, just whatever. And they do all the funny things. Well, when I got this, I was thinking, how funny would it be to start here and then go down here and up here and down here and up here and down here and up here and down here and just back and forth, because why not? So I have it gridded that way, and I think I have the grid in. Yes, I'm so nerdy. I have a special book for the bigger patterns. And oh, I do have it. Oh, God. Pull this open so I can pull the one page out without destroying everything. So here it is. And I think I have, so you can read that, so you can see the order that they're going to go in. And I know it doesn't make sense to anyone but me, but yeah. That's how I wanted to do it. I will never do a full coverage piece this way again, but it just made it more interesting for me. And I got to use Excel. So nerdy. So, talked about that. Oh. And I'm not really going to apologize for this, but I will explain that after watching days and days of Floss Tube while I'm berserker stitching, last time I made my video, I'd been hearing people say Krennic so much that I said it wrong repeatedly in the last video. I apologize. No, I don't apologize, but that's why I said it that way. It's Krennic. Christine actually corrected me, and I was like, what is she talking about? I said it right because in my mind, I know how to say it. It's Krennic. And then I kind of went back and looked, and I said Krennic like 18,000 times. So dumb. Anyway, Krennic. I have a list today. Oh wow, I talked about all that stuff already. Oh, my latest audiobook or book from my 301 reading list, Angle of Repose. And that one, wow, that is a great book. It's like a story. The guy is talking about the guy in the story, the main protagonist. He is telling the story about his grandmother, but in the story there's more stories, so it's not just one story but a whole plethora of stories, right? Really good. It is huge, so if you have a lot of time to stitch, I recommend you get that on audio because sitting down to read it might take a little bit. It's one of your bigger books, which is nice. I like bigger books because then I'm not sad that it's over. The ending, the way that it ended, to me seemed appropriate because he had his epiphany, I guess the biggest one at the end, but I would say that he wasn't even close to his own personal angle of repose. So I think that just sounds beautiful, angle of repose. Don't you think? It's a mining term, which is funny. Of course, terminology in any business, the language is always going to be different. You got to learn the language and the lingo and the slang. Angle of repose. It's a 30-degree angle. So anyway, the things you learn. At least we're not listening to Moby Dick. Learning about fishing. Don't need to know anymore. Thank you very much. So I haven't decided who my next author is going to be or which book I'm going to choose from my list. I did find two on my Overdrive through the library system, and I had to place holds on both of those, and those are on the list. So once those come through, which will be any time now, I'll be able to cross off two more books from my list. Moving on right along on my list, I'm actually happy to report. I had gone to Friends of the Library when I was in Juneau and got a bunch of books, just the paperbacks from my 301 list, and kind of glad I did because a lot of those, they're not on Audible or Overdrive, and so I would have to sit down and read them anyway. And with winter coming, and now that all the Halloween hurry is over with, I can take my time and not go. I'm kind of tired from being in berserker mode all week. Oh, and I just got over like this really stupid cold. It's like, I don't know, you could probably tell, but it's still kind of lingering, but not so bad. I did go through one of my sewing boxes that has projects that I need to finish, and I came across these patterns. So for those of you who actually sew like stuff, I have some patterns I'm going to show you real quick, and if you're interested in any of them, just put a comment down below on which one you want, and then we can get together in a message or messenger or whatever. Email. You could email me. I'm akazaus@gmail.com. You can email me that way. And I'll put that down in the link below so you don't have to stop everything and write it down. But these, I have used some of them. No, I've used, there's a couple I haven't used, so they're kind of like new, but I've been carrying them around for, how old is my daughter? 24. Anywhere from 15 to 30 years, to 15 to 25. I'm going to say 25 just to be on the safe side. I've had some for a really long time. Oh. I better take this out. When I get a pattern that I've bought online, I generally just leave the receipt, like this one's from Keepsake Quilting. I leave it in the pattern, and I don't know why I do that. I could just burn it. Okay, so it's gone. But this one is from Keepsake Quilting. It's Birch Street Clothing, and it's a pop-up pet tent. Let's see if you can see that. Yes, isn't that lovely? For your kits or your little dogs. So there's that one. It's adorable. At the time when I ordered this, back, it was right after 9/11 happened. I had ordered this because I used to rescue cats, and I had a fair amount. And you know, sometimes they squabble over territory. And I thought if I made these, you know, make them each their own little home, well, that went over like a bag of rocks. Because, oh, are you in that tent? I need to be in that tent. You can go to a different tent. Anyway. It's so funny to me because, you know, those cats, there were 1, 2, 3 short hairs. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 short hairs and 2 long hairs. And I wasn't allergic to cats then, but now, my roommate had a cat named Dor, and she was a long hair, and I swear to you, I could look at her through a window and it felt like I had a stick in my eye, my nose was running, everything clogged up, and of course her favorite person in the house was me, so I was her human, but she was not my cat. Anyway, that's what this was for, and as far as I know, or can see, there's no cat hair in there, so I guess it's pet free. Anyway, I just dropped everything. Hold on. I'm going in. Okay. Now that I'm done dropping things, it's that gravity bill thing again, you know. Somebody's paying bills and it's not me. All right, so the first thing I have used this pattern a couple times, actually. Is it all in here? I would be very embarrassed if it's not all in here. I believe it's all in here. Oh, was it this one? I must have two of these. Oh, I do have two of these. That's why. Okay, so this is the clean one, the one that hasn't been used. So this is, I don't know if you can see that. It is Easy Stitch and Save number 905, and that's for pajamas. But if you like to make like lazy pants, this is a good pattern. But please keep in mind that when they say large, they mean large. So you might want to do some measuring. I'm gonna be right back. Going again. And I'm back. All right, so that's one. Then I have this one, and I never used it, and I don't intend to. This is McCall's 2-hour dress, pattern M4374. See that? Doo-doo-doo. Really pretty, very simple, very elegant, and I think that's why I got it, because at the time I was really tired of, because in Alaska everyone goes to the same stores, and this is like before Amazon. So, you know, everyone ends up wearing the same stuff, and I just don't like that. So my intention was to make the clothes, but then the only clothes I was wearing at the time was a uniform, so we can't deviate from the uniform and wear pretty dresses. And then I have BP 227 Butterick. It's Maggie London pattern there. Gosh, these are not. There we go. There's that. Aren't those pretty? I just love the fun dresses. I can't wear those anymore. My figure will not comply with the pattern. Yeah, I need more of a princess cut, if you know what I mean. And did I ever use this one? I want to say I did, or I had this pattern. I know I must have had two of these, but here's this one. And very fun. Very early 90s, right? And then this is Simplicity 5631. It's so easy. And yeah, this one has not been used, and I don't intend to use it, but these blouses, I really like that style, and I have a closet full of that same style. So I don't need any more, made by me or otherwise. So there's that one, and then this one's been used by my dad's wife. She made a bunch of these. It is Simplicity 8857, and it's for the Polar Fleece pullover. And it didn't take her any time at all to make the pullover. It was like super fast. But then anything with fleece is going to be super fast, at least in my mind. And then the rest, for those of you with kids or grandkids and you want to, get creative, here is McCall's Costumes MP 285. There's that. Yes, the clouds just went in front of the sun, sorry. Well, why am I apologizing? I can't do anything about it. And then I have Simplicity 8830, And there's only one little outfit on here that I totally disagree with, and you'll see what I mean. Do you see her? Right there. Look at that. What is wrong with you people if you want to dress your child up like a French maid? That's no. Anyway, thankfully, my daughter had no inclination to be a French maid. She wanted to be the witch with that really cool goth dress right there. And it's funny because she wanted me to make that dress not for Halloween, but for all the time. That was her bag. And then I have used this pattern. I used it so much because my daughter absolutely loved these nightgowns. And I don't remember how many I made, but it's the long nightgown, not the little shirt and shorts thing. But that nightgown, I got so good at it, I didn't need to use the pattern anymore. I would just done. So there's that, but everything's in here. It's all squished in there. So if you want any of these patterns, just leave a comment down below and I will chuck them in the mail when I do my mass mailing, because that's coming up in about 2 weeks. So, yeah, just email me which one or all of them, you know. If you say you'll take whatever there is, you know, and somebody else wants 1 or 2 or whatever, that's cool. Just let me know. And I believe that's it for show and tell today, children. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. 2 finishes. I'm done with Halloween. I can now get on to Thordak and my contest prizes, and oh my. Until next time, I hope you all have a beautiful day and keep on stitching.